No, but I think with David, the dream started for me about almost 4 years ago, and I was watching a show called The Chosen. Yeah, shout out, The Chosen. And I was like crying every single episode, just weeping. And I got all my family to see it. I remember I had just booked the off-Broadway production of Kimberly Akimbo, and it was my first time moving out. I was 19 years old, and I was having dinner with my family, and we were talking about The Chosen, and they said, well, you're an actor, you should do stuff like this. And I was like, yeah, I'm trying. And they said, well, who would you play if you were on The Chosen? And I said, maybe King David. I remember the first time I got the audition on the phone, I called my mom immediately. I'm like, Mom, you're not going to believe this David thing. Every single week, I'm like, hey, what happened with that David thing? For a month, I would call them. And eventually they got back to me and said, hey, it's not going your way. And as an actor, you learn to move on. You know, you audition for so many things and you get so many no's, you're like, oh, whatever. But for me, this one hurt a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay. And then a few weeks later, my reps called me again and said, hey, remember that David thing you auditioned for? You have another shot at it. And so I called my mom again. I'm like, Mom, you're not going to believe the David thing is back, which, by the way, doesn't happen. And she said, okay, this time, I want you to fast and pray. So I said, okay. And I did. And I submitted the audition. And a week later, we were having lunch in New York. And you told me, you're like, I have a feeling this is yours, but I need you to do the work. And I said, if there's one thing I could do, it's the work.